2020, a year plagued by the COVID-19 outbreak that governments across the globe were ill prepared for, and can be argued are still not fully prepared to handle, as cases are spiking yet again, especially in the United States. It's predicted that by the summer of 2021, 250 million people will have been infected, and approximately 1.75 million people will have died globally due to the virus. Regardless of a vaccine, COVID is here to stay in some form and will likely mutate and need recurring development of vaccines. Scientists predict that COVID-19 will be prevalent from 2025 and beyond, similar to the way that flu cycles every year. There have been many issues in the way that small-scale and large-scale governments have handled this pandemic, but a place we feel needs special attention is regulation of public spaces. Some areas have regulation in place that may not be enough, and some areas have little to no regulation. However, for effectiveness and efficiency, we believe that small-scale governments need to tackle this issue. They need to take better action on regulating public spaces. However, we think they need more data to make the right decisions.
Our product is essentially a two-part solution, which uses a combination of artificial intelligence and widespread thermal data collection to be able to accurately predict when a given area may be experiencing an outbreak of COVID. Built on existing thermal imaging technology, which has already proven to be invaluable for the non-invasive identification of potentially sick individuals, the core of our solution is a mid-range, high-accuracy thermal imaging system. Already being mass-produced, these devices are cost-effective, lightweight, and modular. Our system would be implemented at the entryways of a large number of public spaces, particularly supermarkets, as they present a generally unbiased representation of a local populace. Data would be collected about the temperature of every individual who enters the premise, which would then be analyzed in conjunction with COVID-19 testing data from the same locality in order to determine a pattern between the number of high-temperature individuals in an area and number of positive COVID-19 cases. Once such a pattern has been determined, the internet-connected thermal imaging nodes would be able to accurately predict the potential for a COVID-19 outbreak in an area, perhaps even before testing could be conducted. Local governments would then be made aware of the potential outbreak and would be able to take appropriate action, such as enforcing occupancy limits for local businesses, implementing mask mandates, and even temperature checking at the entryways of businesses.
As with any data collecting internet-enabled device, privacy is one of the largest hurdles in getting such a solution implemented. Privacy is of the utmost importance when developing a product that will collect data from the general public, and it is imperative that it does not invade the patron's privacy or store information about them. However, this technology is strictly storing the temperature of individuals as a value in an algorithm, not the temperature of a specific individual, therefore not invading a patron's privacy. But to cover all bases, depending on how different jurisdictions may rule how the product does or doesn't invade privacy, signage making customers aware of the imaging would be implemented. Another major hurdle would be cost and time to implement. Luckily, all of this technology already exists, as mentioned before. Mid-range, high-accuracy thermal imaging systems are affordable and widely available, and setting up an artificial intelligence algorithm to analyze such temperature data for patterns relating to COVID-19 could be a matter of days in areas with high testing. The largest hurdle with the implementation of this product is that local governments will have to fund the solution, and they'll have to select an appropriate sample of public spaces from which to collect the data that can help them develop responsive policy decisions. Also of note is that community of color and lower income communities are being hit the hardest by this pandemic. So it is vital that these areas are not overlooked when implementing the solution.
Our product is designed to work in conjunction with governments of any size, from small scale like city or county to state and national, or even across the globe. As more data is fed into the prediction algorithm, the algorithm will only become more accurate. Our target group, however, is small-scale governmental bodies, such as cities and counties, since they have the greatest degree of control over their locality and are most likely able to implement our solution with the fewest amount of slowdowns. Additionally, small-scale forms of government have the most jurisdiction over local businesses and behavior of the public, allowing them to efficiently implement policy decisions in response to the data produced by our thermal imaging network.
While thermal imaging systems can already be found in a range of public spaces for the purpose of identifying COVID-positive individuals, they're typically used for entry prevention and not data collection purposes. We believe that in using this technology to collect mass amounts of data, the prediction potential for this technology could prove incredibly useful in stopping the spread of the sickness before the damage can be done.
While it is easy to become callous to the constant brigade of bad news, the reality is that COVID cases are going up and the death toll is rising. While a vaccine is on the horizon, we have months to a year before it is widely administered, much less available across the globe. Coupled with the large percentage of the population who may refuse to take the vaccine and the ongoing seasonal flu outbreak, it becomes clear that better action needs to be taken now to help curb the spread. We believe our product will help local governments to better regulate their public spaces to curb the spread of COVID-19 and is vital to preventing future pandemic outbreaks.